So now here it is. Miles Sampa, now that the PF, Lungu is no longer the president, there's a vacuum. There's a vacuum because let's face it, we need opposition politics. I mean, who wants to live in a world, a totalitarian state? We don't live in a totalitarian state. I don't want to be, I don't want a government that is not challenged. I don't want that. Who needs the aggravation? Who needs the annoyance of living in a country where the government is not challenged? Proper checks and balances. We want that. So because there's a leadership vacuum, guess what? It's open now for people to say, you know what? I want to be president. And these are my credentials. And several people have expressed interest. They want to be president. There's Emmanuel Mwamba, there's GBM. And then there's this guy by the name of Miles Sampa, who from the very beginning, the inner circle of the PF never liked for some reason. They just didn't like him. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe it's because the guy's such a good-looking guy. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, the guy's a looker. I mean, if I took him to Hollywood right now, right this moment, 10 agents would sign him up. 10 agents, 10 film agents would sign him up for a Hollywood movie. He's that good looking. Maybe they didn't like him because of that. But the truth is, the inner circle of the PF have never liked Miles. Now, this is the reason. The reason, you're not going to believe this reason. The reason Miles Sampa has been suspended from the PF Central Committee is, boom, because Tayali called Sampa a mole. Remember that? I mean, this is the level that the PF have sunk. Imagine we're living in a dispensation now where PF, the mighty patriotic front, as Antonio Mwanza used to say it, the mighty patriotic front, we are living in an era where the PF are now receiving instructions from a political joker in the name of Chilufya Tayari, simply because Tayari referred to Miles Sampa as a mole. Do you know what a mole is? A mole in espionage talk, okay? A mole is a spy. You know what a spy is? A spy is someone who infiltrates you to get information so that he can take it to the other side. Tayali accused a long-standing member of the PF of being a mole. And here's the thing, the PF Central Inner Circle believed him. Ha! You bunch of jokers. You guys, let me tell you, the PF are they're a bunch of jokers. They're a bunch of girly men is what they are. You guys are dumber than a box of hammers. Honestly, really. How in the entire hell are you going to listen to someone like Chilufya Tayali? What, just because Tayali calls your guy, Tayali's not even a member of your party, for goodness sake, but because Mundubida, or Va Mundubida, sorry, I don't want to sound disrespectful, Va Mundubida is paying Tayali to my 2 pin or to my 5 pin every week. Kalandef. Because those guys are giving Tayali a few pieces of silver, you guys are going to throw your own PF member under the bus in exchange for a traitor and a bottom feeder and a leech and a jackal and a traitor, a Judas Iscariot, a Benedict Arnold. You're going to trade Sampa for Tayali? Man, you guys are a mess. You're an absolute mess. So that's the reason. It's because Tayali called Miles a mole. And then the PF guys, they listened to Tayali. I mean, heck, the former president Edgar Lungu listens to Tayali. What's the world coming to? What is this? You guys are falling apart at the seams and you don't even know it. You don't. Unbelievable. So here it is. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. Now, let me explain to you why Remember Miles, a few years ago, he promised to give you Wi-Fi? He promised to give us Wi-Fi. Now, let me be clear about that. Guys, we're living in the modern age. There is nothing strange about public places having free Wi-Fi. That's where the world is. There's nothing strange about that. But in Zambia, my goodness. Miles, here's the story. Here's the story. And this is the true story. Like it, love it, leave it, loathe it, embrace it, cast it away. It's up to you. I really don't care because it's the truth. And you know, it just hit me. It just honestly hit me that I'm so glad. I'm so thankful. I can live in an era. I can live in a dispensation. I can live in a time where I can fully express myself on this issue and not worry that somebody's going to put a bullet in my head. But in the PF, that's how we used to live. We lived in fear, gross fear, tangible, palpable fear. Ever heard of palpable fear? Palpable fear means the type of fear you can feel. Palpable means you can reach out and grab it. Anyway, so there's nothing strange about having free Wi-Fi. So Miles, when he became the mayor, he started making inroads to have that happen in order for that to come to fruition. He wanted to make sure that, you know, the public places, he promised everybody, promised you, promised me as the mayor of the city of Lusaka, that he was going to install or have free Wi-Fi installed. So he was speaking to a huge, big company. I don't want to mention the company, you guys know. It starts with an H. I'll let you figure it out. And they were making big headway. And right when it was about to be, you know, they started having the big meetings in order for that to happen. Guess what? Somebody from State House called Miles and said, "Hey, man, what's up?" Miles says, "Yeah, what's the deal?" Now, remember, I'm paraphrasing, but this is exactly what happened. So the guy from State House says, "We hear you want to do Wi-Fi thing. What's the deal with the Wi-Fi?" He says, "Yeah, I'm speaking to a company. We're about to meet. We're about to get this thing rolling." And guess what the guy from State House says? He says, "The president's daughter wants to know, does she get a cut?" You see where this is going? Miles says, "What do you mean, cut? What cut?" He says, "No, come on, Miles. We know you got a bit of action going. Come on, break off a little something. Huh? You got to do something, Miles. You can't come to the party all by yourself. You got to give up a piece of the action." Miles says, "What action are you talking about?" He says, "Come on, Miles. You know the deal. You know the drill. We know you're getting a major cut. But the president's daughter just wants to know, how much is she going to get?" Miles says, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about." Then State House said, "Well, in that case, we're going to put a full stop to this whole practice. We're going to just put a full stop. We're going to put a line through this instead of under it." State House, in those days during the PF, put a bullet through that project because the president's daughter wanted a cut because she thought Miles was making a big cut and she wanted a piece of the action. Boom. Does that shock you? Doesn't shock me. Doesn't shock me one bit. It's the truth, man. Yep. That's what happened. Right. Well, that's what I had to say. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless. Bye.